What's up, everybody? This is Alex Kelly back here with another episode of the Furloughed Film Talks podcast with my brother Ryan.
What's up, everybody?
This is episode 89. We have a very, very special one for you today.
This will be fun.
This is an interesting one. This is an intriguing one, a controversial one.
We're going to attempt to ruin a man's career today.
That's maybe. So I don't think we will be trying that too much, but we will go through.
Speak for yourself.
You might. I will. We are very much two separate people under one umbrella of the Furloughed Film Talks podcast, which always means that we are live streaming sometimes Tuesday nights, sometimes Monday nights, but usually it's Monday nights and Thursday nights on YouTube.
Whenever the COVID vaccine doesn't try to kill Alex.
Yeah, that was not fun, dude. I woke up this morning and felt fine, but last night, man, I was dead. That was not a fun experience.
Yeah, you looked pretty under the weather.
Dude, I literally, I was sitting on the couch and you were just, on your computer, and I literally sat there for a couple seconds and I was like, I want nothing more just to be in my bed right now. And, kicked off my pants, got in bed, put on a hoodie, grabbed another blanket and just put it in front of my face, and I was like, I don't want to move now.
I watched women's basketball.
I did, and some men's basketball, and then fell asleep. So it was a great night, but we were not able to record last night. That is my B. But now I'm fully vaccinated, so
Do you feel fine today?
Yeah, I felt great.
That's weird.
It's supposedly that's just what happens the day after you feel absolute.
Because didn't you get it Friday?
No, I got it Sunday. I was supposed to get it Friday.
Okay. Yeah,
I was supposed to get it Friday, but Fair Park had messed it up, or I wasn't aware that you were supposed to be checking, and some days were just Moderna only and Pfizer only. And I got in Pfizer, so
Well, I'm on a list now.
Are you really?
County, yeah.
Which one?
Didn't.
Okay, no.
Then I listened to one of my conspiracy podcasts, and not so sure when to get it now. But we'll see.
Let's not get into that too much. We'll get on to that
I probably
off
will.
air.
I probably will.
I would look at.
We talked about that shit on the.
Yeah, I would look at Walgreens and CVS because when I realized I wasn't going to be able to get it through Fair Park, I immediately jumped on and started looking at places and was able to get a Walgreens appointment 2 days later. So
can you designate which vaccine you get though?
Yeah.
So you can make sure you get the Johnson & Johnson?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So go through Walmart because it shows you exactly which what stores.
We literally just talked about
what stores have what. I know. What?
Our avoidance of Walmart.
Okay, but here's the thing. So Walmart's map shows you what Kroger's have it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's weird.
That's odd. Okay.
So if you don't want to go step into a Walmart, you can go to Kroger instead. Anywho, I'm feeling fine. We got off on our schedule, but we're going to be back.
Yeah, we had a few rough weeks with our trip to New Orleans. We got kind of off. We missed an episode.
Yeah. Trying to get vaccinated from a pandemic.
Yeah, we had something go on last week where you got home late from the bar Thursday night, so we had to record on Friday.
No, I was at Schitt's Creek Trivia for Angela, which was at a brewery. So your point is correct. Anywho,
what's up, Vinny?
Vinny is what's up, dude? You are going to enjoy this one, Vinny. This is a crazy episode today.
I hope you don't have strong opinions on.
I don't think he does.
Pro-life or pro-choice.
Yeah, but we'll get into that a bit. Today, we've been teasing it for a little bit. We've been talking about it on our Twitter. So if you want to check out our Twitter, it's @FurloughedFilm, Instagram @FurloughedFilmTalks, YouTube, just search Furloughed Film Talks. As always, please, if you are interested or you like the show, actually, I'm not going to say this episode. I'll save this, and you will know why later. I don't want people spamming us. I'll tell you later. We are having a very controversial episode today. We had on the director, writer, producer, and star of the new movie. I would call it anti-abortion, very pro-choice.
Star is a very loose word.
Yeah.
In this context.
It premiered at CPAC. The movie is called Roe v. Wade. We will be reviewing the movie later.
So that's not exactly accurate. It premiered at the Vienna International Film Festival.
Okay, it had a showing.
It had a showing at CPAC.
At CPAC.
Yeah.
Let's get our facts right then, because we don't want to be false like the movie. So we will review the movie at the end of this. We will give our full thoughts on it. We will premiere the what's it called? The interview with the director, writer, producer, star of it, Nick Loeb. He was nice enough to come on and then left the
very truncated
interview.
So
we will premiere that, then we will do our review. If you are watching this right now, I think it's Vinny. You will not be able to hear the interview with Nick until we upload it tomorrow. But if you are listening to this on Wednesday or any time after that, you will hear the interview with Nick Loeb, and then you will hear our thoughts after. I wanted it to do that way because I believed that having our thoughts before it was not right. Get the interview out, be fair, balanced, whatever you want to call it, and have that interview. As soon as that interview is over, we will talk and kind of give some background on what exactly happened, because I think that is fair. We will go into kind of some of the problems that we had with the interview, why it ended, and what other questions we really wanted to get into, or we wanted to get into with him.
Right.
I think, not into like fighting it on it, but like we wanted to pose to him.
Sort of.
But I don't want to say it that way. We wanted to get some answers for some questions that we had. So we will get to all of that here in a little bit. But first, Ryan, there is a bigger movie coming out this week.
Thank God.
And by bigger, I mean skyscraper animals beating the shit out of each other.
Yep.
What am I talking about?
Godzilla v. Kong.
Godzilla versus...
This is a movie that's what, like 5-6 years in the making?
Yeah, because I think the first Godzilla came out 2015, 2014, 2015.
Something like that, yeah.
So 5-6 years in the making.
Kong Skull Island a few years after that. Then you had...
I'm going to watch that tomorrow.
I want to watch the last Godzilla movie before we see Godzilla vs. Kong.
King of the Monsters, or Godzilla King of the Monsters.
Yeah. I want to see that one again, just because it has some carryover with Millie Bobby Brown's character.
Oh yes, yeah.
So and the coach from Friday Night Lights.
Yeah, I don't know his name either. There's like a meme going around, and it's like this guy would just like refuse to learn his name. It's like, yeah, I just know him as the coach from.
He's just the coach.
Coach from Friday Night Lights.
Yeah.
No, quick side story. I'm in my 6th period class today, and this kid goes, "Hey, Mr. Kelly, I saw the new monster movie," and I was like, "What?" He's like, "The one that's supposed to come out this week," and I was like, "Godzilla versus Kong." He's like, "Yeah, I saw it online. Like, I got like an illegal copy." I was like,
"Cool, kid."
I literally go, "Cool," and he goes, "Do you want to know how it ends?" I stood up and I was like, "You don't say a word." I looked at all of them. I was like, "If any of you ruin this movie, I am kicking you out of my class. Like, I will end somebody.
I will call your parents."
And then
you will be beat within an inch of your life.
Everybody, I am being highly sarcastic here, so nobody take me seriously. But I looked at one kid who goes, "Mr. Kelly, that's a threat." And I was like, "Yes, it is." And then I was like, "No." So nobody like freaks out.
You're not supposed to threaten your students?
Probably not. It's probably not apropos to like threaten violence. But this one kid was like, "Yeah, you want to know the ending of it?" And I was like, "Dude, I will freak out if you mess this movie up. Ain't for me."
How do you respond to that? Was he like cool?
No, he like cowered.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But like the kid, he and I have a good relationship, so like I think he understood what I meant, because they all know like I really love movies and like am really into like that type of stuff. So they're like, they kind of understood like, yeah, he'll flip his lid if he like, and he does not. I do not do that often. So
can you imagine if you're teaching like?
I'll lose it.
No. If you're teaching back in like 2019? Yeah, 2019. And some kid walked in and was like, "Hey, Tony Stark dies."
I would have lost it. Dude. No, even worse. If I had been teaching in 2018 and some kid had walked in after like Infinity War, I'd like seen it a couple days before. I was like, yeah, half of everybody like dies. I would have walked out. I would have quit like instantly. I'd been so mad.
Yeah.
Because I was pumped for that.
That's happened.
Oh, it's happened for sure.
No, like that exact scenario probably happened to teachers.
No, because there's some S-head kid, like
especially in like high school or something.
Yeah, no, like because like some of these teachers like get really bullied by some of these students, and it's like
it sucks.
It's really bad, and I'm just like, wow, dude.
Why did you have to tee that up for me?
What?
Some of these teachers get really bullied.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
I can't like
Yeah,
comment
you can't say it. Anywho, so the reason that I brought up that story, Godzilla versus Kong, comes out tomorrow. It'll be on HBO Max.
But it has been out internationally.
In China, and real fast, this is the biggest pandemic era release in America. It will be in 3,000 theaters here in America, which I will be bringing back up later. But first,
But
in China,
it's currently in 30 plus countries
Yep.
playing, and in China it racked in $70 million for a global total of $120 million.
$121.8 million bucks, dude. Like,
Yeah, man.
let's go. Like,
Yeah.
let's freaking go. I would have been stoked if this had been any movie. It's even cooler that it's Godzilla versus Kong. It shows that the theaters are opening back up. The fact that there are 3,000 theaters that are going to be showing this movie this weekend is awesome. It shows that we can start to have big budget movies back.
Bro, I think this is going to be like I think it's going to be big this weekend.
Yeah, I think
Like,
this is going to be
who
really
doesn't
cool.
fucking love Godzilla?
Or Kong. Like, and that's the greatest thing about this.
Well, yeah, if you don't love Godzilla, you absolutely love Kong or both. Like, I'm not a huge King Kong fan. I think it's kind of,
which is why I've never seen Kong Skull Island, but like
it's kind of silly. But Godzilla is my fucking jam.
yeah.
I remember when Godzilla came out in the '90s, and I was like 6 or 7 years old.
Not Brendan Fraser, Matthew Broderick.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
The fucking Taco Bell Godzilla merch fucking roped me in, dude. You had the little
I forgot about that, dude. Yeah.
Remember when I got the little thing that I remember this vividly. We were at the fucking I think it was Valley View Mall, and Taco Bell had like the merch line.
Oh, I remember.
And you could get the little Godzilla head that attached to the window of your car, so you could like put a fucking drink. It was like a cup holder that attached to your window of your car.
What?
Do you remember those?
No, I don't.
Yeah, there'd be like little like
I'd have been like 3, but
little things that like slide into like
yeah, no, I know what you're
crack
talking
of the
about.
glass,
Yeah.
And then you can. It was like a Godzilla head.
That'd been dope.
It was really fucking cool.
Oh.
It was like back in the Taco Bell fucking like large drinks wouldn't fit in the normal cup holders. So you had to have like
we were fat asses, dude. The Asian cars. No, anyways, like what do you mean they need a 40-ounce cup holder? No, like this is a really cool thing to have happen for the box office and just like the theater industry and film industry here in the United States. Oh, America. And bodes well for the future.
Yeah, I think so. Like it's really good for the studios to be able to like, you know, not a lot of studios are gonna want to like invest a ton of money in a bunch of different blockbusters.
Yeah.
Unless, you know, they see this
is happening.
right.
For
So
sure.
like,
yeah.
you know, the American box office might take a little bit more time to like come back, but they can start like getting some of these like tier 2 and tier 3 movies out because like they know they'll be able to recoup their budget
Yeah.
on the international stage, like especially in China, you know.
Oh yeah.
Like this.
Well, that's why like a Marvel movie, like Marvel's huge in China.
I know, that's why I'm surprised. Like I wonder if Marvel had waited till they had seen the box office numbers for Godzilla vs. Kong, would they have gone ahead and like still delayed?
Is Disney Plus available in China?
I have no fucking clue, dude. But it doesn't matter. Like,
Well, no, it kind of does because like if it's not, then that's a huge area where they'll make a lot of money because everybody in China will go see Black Widow. No, it's not.
I'd be willing to bet it's not. Yeah, it's not.
No, Disney Plus is not available in China, though China has a strict censorship on their online content. But that is not the reason behind it. Disney Plus is set to launch in Asia later in 2021. So they just haven't rolled it out there. So like,
Yeah, okay.
they already know that it's going to be like playing in China, and they're going to get numbers like this.
Yeah.
So
sure.
they're kind of like,
Well,
they're just trying to get they'll probably get better.
yeah.
Dude, they'll get more than 70 million in China in July.
I'm just trying to think. You think like China is like too? Oh, let's not go there.
I know what you're about to say.
Okay.
I don't know. So
Okay.
no, man. Like
we'll see.
I think this is really cool. And like when I saw the numbers, I was like, yeah, like it got me super stoked for Godzilla. And to see, yeah, I'm going to be very interested to see what the reception is here in America. You know, are a lot of people going to go see it in theaters, or a lot of people just going to watch it at home on HBO Max? Like this is going to be kind of one of the first like litmus tests of what's it going to really look like here in America. And the early showings in China are good, so we'll see kind of what happens.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think like we're gonna get huge numbers. Like, it probably won't get anywhere close to $70 million in the first weekend, but it's gonna blow like Wonder Woman out of the water. Like,
yeah, what did they make the first weekend? Was it like 46 million?
no, it was fucking 60,000, dude.
No.
Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman like made I would bet so much money that it was like less than
$100,000. Garnered 16.7 million. It's a domestic opening. 16.7 million.
The fuck am I thinking of then?
I don't remember. There was something else. I do know what you're talking about. I just don't remember what it was like. 16.
Oh, it was fuck. What was that?
Start naming off actors.
No. It was the one that was on Netflix that it was like George Clooney.
Oh, Midnight Sky.
Midnight Sky.
Yeah.
Got $60,000, and they're like,
which they don't care. Like,
yeah. Oh my god. Check out the chat.
Oh yeah, I told her. I texted her.
Did you?
Yeah. Yeah. So, should we say
hola?
Hi. Vinny, no, we haven't checked out Nobody yet.
No.
We really want to.
Yeah. So I think we're gonna see Godzilla v Kong Friday. Hopefully.
Yes, I think that's the plan.
We can just fucking skip Captain Winter Soldier because
I'm giving it time, Ryan. I'm giving it time.
I mean, we'll watch it, but it's not anywhere near where like we have to see it like WandaVision.
Yeah, like immediately. No, I think they beat 16.7 million on its opening weekend. No problem. So hey, mom.
Hi, mom. We'll acknowledge you.
Yeah, we're trying to do a show.
Trying to live stream here.
Anywho, no, yeah, I think they beat 16.
Love you.
Love you so much. Thank you for buying Harry Potter 3. Sorry for being a dick. This is going to be an insane show. This is going to be one of my favorites that we've done in a while.
Let's get to the good stuff here.
Oh, are we? Is it time, Ryan? Is it time?
Yeah, it's time. We don't have anything else to talk about.
Perfect.
No, we didn't answer Vinny's question though. We have not seen Nobody.
No, I did. That's what I said.
I know, but
when are we going?
We're going to elaborate on that. Like, we definitely are going to see that movie.
Yes, we.
I don't want to wait. It's out on demand on April 16th. I want to see it before then.
Yeah, I want to see it in theaters.
This is basically like John Wick. John Wick meets like Suburban Dad.
Yeah, there's a movie like that. I mean, yeah, like the biggest comp is going to be John Wick.
Well, it's literally by the same like.
It's almost like John Wick meets Breaking Bad.
It's by the same people who made John Wick.
Yes, by the producer John Wick.
Sure, but it's not that. It's not John Wick meets Breaking Bad.
But like the dad who like goes bad type thing. But like I guess the dad in this case was already like an assassin, basically.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. I'll take that back. Anywho, no, like we really want to see it.
I think mom fucked off.
Did she really?
Yeah, she's like, fuck this.
Awesome.
Oh, there she is.
She's back. We can't even keep her mom. No, man. Like we really want to see Nobody. You've brought it up to me twice now.
Yeah,
that we need to go see it, and I've been said like, yeah, like we really do need to. When I first saw the trailer for it, I was kind of like, this looks odd. But Bob Odenkirk is like a great actor, so like
good.
As soon as it was like, oh, it's him, like yeah, we'll check it out.
He really put a lot into this role, so
she did not. Yeah, he obviously did. So that is Nobody.
All right,
we ready, Ryan?
Let's get to the abortion movie.
Is this what we're doing?
So how do you want to do this again?
I don't know.
Let's start off with like, let's give everyone our review.
No. We just gotta like,
no.
We gotta introduce
our rating of the movie. Like,
let's get that out there. No. We gotta introduce it first so that people don't know like what our review is. If you want to like skip forward if you're listening to this later and hear what we reviewed it as and then listen to like our interview, totally fine. But like I am going to present this interview with no bias, no idea what my review of it is, and you just listen to what we said to this guy and what we talked about with this guy. And then we are going to talk about what happened and talk about what we were going to ask him and why we weren't able to.
And then our overall review.
And then our overall review of the movie.
But but before we start like actually talking about the review, I do want to give like our actual rating for it.
Yes.
Because I want to be like, hey, this is what this movie is. So don't like, this is how our review is going to be. So if you don't want to listen to like us talk about a movie that wasn't,
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
So we are talking about a movie called Roe v. Wade. If you do not know what Roe v. Wade is, then you need to go slap your history teacher. But it was the landmark abortion case that made abortion legal in the United States. It started here in Dallas County, which is where we are at, which makes it a little bit personal for us. But the movie is based all around that. It is written, written, produced, was incidentally directed by, and stars Nick Loeb, who we talked with. And this is
before you introduce him, I think it's real. I don't know if you want to include this, but I think it's important to include. He reached out to us unsolicited for us to watch the movie and to do an interview.
Yeah, well, let's be very clear. He reached out to us to review the movie.
Okay.
I dug into what had happened with the filming of it,
the production of it,
what was going on in his personal life, which we will not get into, and into kind of everything that was going on with it. And that's when I said, hey, would you be interested in an interview?
Okay.
So he reached out to us through the review. I then said, hey, would you want to do an interview? And this is what happened. And that was Nick Loeb. Brian, do you want to explain why we've been cryptic about what the hell happened there at the end?
Sure.
Because that's where we just need to start with all of this.
Yeah, so we're not sure if Nick Loeb, Mr. Loeb, just, maybe one of us were having internet connection issues and we disconnected, and either he did not try to reconnect with us, or he just decided to completely ignore our emails and messages to try and reconnect and continue the interview. But in any case, we got about 15 minutes into the interview.
20 to 22, but
okay. Into the 20th minute of the interview of what was scheduled to be a 30-minute interview.
Yep.
We disconnected and he did not rejoin the Zoom call. We emailed him. We tried to reach out to him, and he has subsequently ghosted us.
Which, for the people who don't understand what ghosted means, it's not reply.
Yeah, not reply. We don't exist to him anymore.
Yeah. Which, like, when he says we emailed him, we disconnected. I looked at you and said, "Did he just leave?" You said yes. You got up to like do something on the computer, and I immediately picked up my phone and shot off an email to both him
and the publicist
and his publicist, who helped. Who, like, I have no qualms with Nicole.
Did she reply back to you?
She did not. I don't have any qualms with her. I will not say her full name or where she, any of that. But I have no qualms with her. She did not reply. I just said, "Hey, we disconnected. We are still here. We would like to continue." And they never got a response. And we waited 20 minutes.
And this is all like fairly, fishy, because this disconnection happened after our first kind of serious or pressing question of him, which was, why did you include the
Fortune in Abortion
There was
song?
a Fortune in Abortion song,
which
his reply was, well, this was a factual song that this guy sang in college. And, I put that at the end of the movie. So if you watch the movie, like, you would know this actually happened. And our response was, hey, sure. if him and his buddies in college were singing this song because, like, yeah, apparently there was a lot of money to be made as a new doctor in abortion, that's great. But the way you portrayed it in this movie was he literally was sitting around with his family and kids in his living room with his wife and children playing the piano as he, gaily sang the Fortune and Abortion song
with his wife, the guy he's working with's wife, and I don't know the relation of the kid, but a kid sitting at the piano as they play like a parlor song version of this.
Right, and he also had tried to say, you know what, he didn't really want, and it's also important to point out the character who he's talking about, he played, right? The dog,
so he's in the scene.
He's pivotal in the scene, and he tried to play it off as, oh, you know what, this is not a song he wanted to sing, but he got coerced and kind of forced into doing this. Is there any fucking coercion in this scene? No.
Barely, because it goes like this. It's like, hey, sing the song. And he's like, no. And it's one of those no, but then he's like, come on. It's like, okay.
No,
and then does it.
And it's more of hey, why don't we sing this song? And he's like, no. He's like, come on. And he's like, yeah, okay, let's do it. Not hey, fucking doc, sing this goddamn song right now.
Yeah. Which, and let's back up real fast. This is the thing that what's up?
I'm just going to say, again, reiterate, we started pressing him on this particular issue, and I prefaced the question with, this is just one in a series of moments in this movie that we're going to have questions about because they were obvious head scratchers, and, I tried to say in the nicest way possible, but basically what I meant was multiple moments in this movie that, basically make this movie a goddamn train wreck.
Which, and the way you said it initially, which is you basically were like, hey, he was like, was it factual? I don't remember how you really prefaced the question.
I said did this actually happen?
Yeah. And then he was like, well, if you'd watched the movie, this is probably the only time I'm trying not to curse during this interview or during this review. Bitch, we watched your movie.
Yeah.
No. I'm not it's kind of funny, but this is why I'm getting mad. I got mad earlier because I clipped that and he said that and I put it up on Twitter and I was watching it. Dude, He's saying that to you. He's saying that to you and me, and that pissed me off because, dude, we watched your movie that
we spent 2 hours.
That we asked, not even just that. You asked us to watch this movie. We watched it. We waited to review it. We took the time, and you took the time too to talk with us. But then you left us on read. Do not act like we didn't take the time to watch your movie.
Right.
We did. We waited to ask this question, and you didn't have the decency to say, "Oh no, it didn't actually happen that way," because it obviously didn't. That's what pissed me off. So don't come on our show and lie to our faces. Which is what you did. Oh man, it made me so mad. Right. But on top of all of it, what makes me the most mad is that he said something like that to you and to me in a certain sense. If this goes back to what I do as a job nowadays. If I am going to say, hey, you need to write about something or you need to review something, you don't just say oh, I did, and then not do it. You do the work, you watch the work, and then you are able to really comment on it.
And it was
it's that simple.
A patently ridiculous response to my question, because in the question, I specifically asked, why did you portray this as them having a fun afternoon at home singing this song?
Which is why
I didn't fucking ask you about your little end credits.
Where, right?
Where you started putting in interviews with. That's another thing.
Which I think I think I said to him, hey, we know that this is in his book, or this was supposedly this is a real song,
right?
That they sang, but did it happen that way?
The most generous thing you can say is the lyrics of the song are historically factual.
Yeah.
Right.
But the setting of how it's sung, when and you say it's this was something they sang in college, but in that setting, that's not how it happened, dude.
Not at all. Another thing that he said in this interview that I can comfortably say he's just full of it is that the character of
Norma
Jane Roe was
McCorvey.
was irrelevant to the case, even though he spent nearly 5 minutes in his end credits showing interviews with Norma, trying to portray her as someone who is waffling back and forth between pro-life and pro-choice positions.
Well, he uses that whole clip to like justify the whole voiceover in the pizza thing, where it's like lie number 1, lie number 2, which we're gonna get to like the voiceover in this movie when we do the actual review. This is just us talking about like
what happened in the interview.
What happened in the interview. And it's like, dude, no, you set up the majority of your movie being about them lying to her. Your entire argument,
your precipice for like your predication,
yes,
for your entire movie is that the lawyers lied to Norma, and that's how she got roped into being the poster child.
So if you do
for
not
the
have
abortion
this,
case.
you do not have this. So like you do not get to say that she is irrelevant. He used the word irrelevant. That is what chapped my ass to no end. I love that saying. But and then like there's another point where he was like, well, it's not serious. Like not taking it seriously. Like some people don't.
What aren't you taking seriously?
No. I said like, hey, maybe you should have taken the song a little bit more seriously. And he was like, well, people don't take abortion as seriously. Okay. And I was like, cool. Like, I don't give a shit about other people. I give a shit about like when you're taking it seriously.
Right.
You're the one making an abortion movie. You shouldn't having tropical music and a freaking parlor song. Like in it, like when I say parlor song, am I being like?
No, it literally was a parlor.
Okay, like
the literal definition of a parlor song, right?
Like,
and it's right. You cannot have scenes of the Chicago police raiding a illegal abortion clinic and then carrying out the aborted fetuses in buckets through the hotel lobby. You cannot have like, I guess you have in a like patently ridiculous movie like this, and we'll get to the review.
Yeah,
but
we're kind of reviewing that.
I guess you can have super serious scenes like this, and then completely undermine your entire motive and movie by having scenes of like a fortunate abortion, parlor songs, or
which like
a monologue where one of the main characters yells at God in a church. Like, I guess
It's him. It was him.
Like, I guess you can have those like polar opposites in one movie, but like, from the Furloughed Film Talk boys, you're gonna get a fucking 0 out of 5 Gender Max Head rating.
I was gonna be generous and give it like a 0.25, and I've been kind of waffling on that, but like
this gets a straight
0,
hard 0 for me.
Here's the other thing about, and maybe we should just like cap the fortune in abortion like talk at this. It's one thing to have it in like one part of your movie. That I was kind of like, okay, that was super.
But it was in 3, right?
It was 2.
Didn't they overplay it in another part in the movie?
Oh, they did.
They did.
As they were doing like assembly line abortions.
Yes.
With Milo Yiannopoulos.
Right.
Which let's get to that part. Let's talk about real fast.
With the cameos? Because
No. That will be a part of it. But like
the
questions we were not able to ask.
Yes.
Because, like we said, we got cut off. We do not know the reason, other than the Wi-Fi was not working. I will say this, and I'm going to defend this. And I'm going to ask you this. Maybe you're not impartial, but whatever. How many times has our Wi-Fi legitimately gone out during an interview like that?
None.
So
not only have we never disconnected from an interview, right? We've never had like a poor interaction with a guest on this podcast, right? Like
that was not our goal, like at all.
Right. Like even if it's a movie we don't like, and like, or if it's it's not something we're particularly interested in, we at least we always give our guests the benefit of the doubt, and we always try to find like our angle in like finding something super interesting about our guests, right? Like we could have. That's what we were aiming to do with Nick Loeb, right? Like we were trying to find like my initial question to him was, hey, apart from the critical response and what is obviously going to be the like general audience
Critical response, yeah.
like what is your like view of the movie that you ended up with? Like, is it close to what you had envisioned? Were there changes?
I thought it was and he thought it was a great question.
Yeah,
too. He
like
says it.
I am trying to like dig out of him. What were you trying to do with this movie? What you ended up creating, do you think is going to accomplish that goal you had? Why or why not? And what changes would you have made in the production to ultimately meet that goal? Right? We're trying to like as students and like admirers of film, we're trying to figure out like what the fuck are you trying to do here?
And
where did it go wrong?
Yeah.
Like we're just we're not
like
trying to be contentious.
You were
with
not
this guy.
you were not supposed to be the director of the movie. You got thrust into that.
Let's go and talk about the production. Like what happened in production?
So they wrote the script and they were not handing it out to the what's it called? The cast and crew. And when they did on the first day of shooting, a bunch of people quit.
Well, not only that, they knew how like absurd this was going to be, and so they actually gave false copies of the script. And then when actors would come in for their like daily shoots, they would have new scripts written with like the actual script that they wanted to shoot.
Yep.
And actors would be fucking livid, right?
Yeah, they'd be
the director and assistant director quit on the first day of production.
Yeah, which like thrust them into like having to direct this freaking movie.
With literally zero experience.
Zero experience in like directing a movie.
Right. Like literally the only cred Nick Loeb has is like as a extra basically on Den of Thieves.
Yeah, I mean he wasn't like I don't know how much of that movie.
Dude, I saw that movie. Like, and I actually really enjoy that movie. I don't remember seeing that guy once. Like, he must have been like one of the like guards at the Federal Reserve or a bank or like something so inconsequential that it's basically equivalent to being an extra.
Dude, okay, so I just pulled this up on Rotten Tomatoes. It does not have a score, right? But it has 2 reviews, and they're not giving it a score because both are rotten.
Yeah, like it's unrateable.
So like
it's not a fucking movie. It's not a.
And we got like we should preface it with like we got a rough cut, but like who knows? No.
How did we get a rough cut the week before the movie came out?
That's what it said on the thing. It said rough cut.
I think they're so incompetent. They probably like
you're just like this is it.
Yeah, I forgot to take out.
No, so like, what was the question that I was going to get into? It's just a lot, man. It's just a lot. And I had a lot of questions to ask. Like, and one of them would have gotten contentious as well because it would have been like, hey, you had the judge winking at the lawyer in Dallas County. Like, I'm sorry, maybe other people are going to let that slide, but like, if you're going to, I don't want to use that word. If you are going to make a claim that something like that happened in our home state and specifically where we're from, no, I'm going to bring it up and I'm going to ask. And I don't think that's wrong. I don't think that's something that should be
that would have been a good
discouraged.
Question. Like another good question go ahead.
I wanted to know why in the world you thought it was okay to show it at CPAC when you're saying it's not an anti-abortion movie.
Which, when did he say, like,
he said it to the Hollywood Reporter, dude. Like,
and how did he justify that?
Don't worry.
The other a really good question that I wanted to hear his take on was, why do you put Roger Stone, Molly Yiannopoulos, and Tommy Lauren in these?
And Mike Lindell, which you don't know the name. My Pillow guy.
What scene was he in?
He was a voiceover for like one of the TV anchors.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. If you why do you put in the most controversial, like far right people?
And this is what I was going to say to him. And I was going to try to be fair with him. Mike Lindell, I kind of give you a pass on because when you filmed it, He was not as controversial as he is now. He was not radioactive, but he was not as radioactive as he is now.
He wasn't not a huge Trump supporter.
I know, but what I'm saying, you get what I'm saying. It's not as bad as it is now. I don't think as many people knew who he was back then. So, like,
you're right. He hadn't like assisted an insurrection.
I know.
Yet.
So I was gonna give him
tomato.
I was gonna give him that slack, which I like. I'm trying to be fair.
Right.
To be fair, but then you have, and I'm going to be very descriptive, so somebody cannot be like, "That's not what happened." Milo Yiannopoulos playing a British abortion doctor who teaches Nick Loeb's character, Bernard Nathanson, how to do abortions faster.
Right.
That is exactly what that role is.
You want to be like really fair here, though? Milo Yiannopoulos actually acted a really good scene. Like, he actually
just acted
himself. Wait. He can't act. Like, that was actually...
Because he's an actor. I don't think he believes half the shit he says.
That's fair.
Tommy Lauren plays the daughter of one of the Supreme Court justices who works at Planned Parenthood. You then have Roger Stone playing a Washington Post reporter.
Which was like...
Dude, the
only person who acted worse than fucking Roger Stone in this movie was like Nick Loeb. Like, actually, that's not true.
It's not true.
I'm sorry, that's not true.
It's not true at all.
Nick Loeb was definitely the worst actor in this movie. But like,
I don't know about that.
The Catholic priest is pretty bad. The
bro.
Who's the Planned Parenthood? Not the Planned Parenthood lady. Who's the lady with the crazy faces whenever she was on screen?
Stacey Dash, the lawyer or the doctor?
No, she wasn't a doctor. She was the white lady who was like leading like the women's march.
Dude, no, yeah, she was great. I don't remember her name.
Her like the actual person was Brendan something.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Author.
I don't care.
Oh my god.
So there's all that.
Yeah, but don't. Okay, you can't possibly like try to argue that you are displaying neutral like take on this or just contributing the facts in a dramatic fashion with this movie.
When you have those,
when you have cameos from Roger Stone, Milo Yiannopoulos, Tommy Lauren, and the fucking Mike Pilla guy.
Yeah, like that.
You can't
possibly. It's laughable, and that was like the question that I wanted to ask. It's like, hey, like what?
I don't even know what kind of insanity like you can hold those two thoughts in your mind together, right? Like, how can you possibly say on one hand this isn't an anti-abortion movie, and then on the other hand say, but yeah, we're gonna have Roger Stone be like a Washington Post reporter. We're gonna have Milo Yiannopoulos like, doing the fucking like extra speedy abortions, and Tommy Lauren being
the literal fast drive-through abortions.
Oh my god!
And oh my god,
that's so bad. Let's get into like.
We want to get into the review because like I think we've touched on.
We're heavily into the review by now, but like,
all right,
what part of this like why is this movie so awful? Like, if it wasn't, is it because
you want to know why it's so awful? Is because and this is what I was legitimately trying to like ascertain from him was abortion is legitimately it's controversial. It's thorny. It has a ton of layers to it.
Sure.
It is something that needs to be taken seriously.
Absolutely.
It does not need something like this. You do not need, you should not be having right-wing cameos.
Right.
You should not be doing a parlor song. You should not be doing congos out of a scene where they're in St. Croix, no matter if they were actually in St. Croix. I do not care if you do a scene in St. Croix, but do it respectfully to the subject that you claim to care about. And that was another question that I was going to ask him. And I know
how he's going to pro-life out of his own.
No, I was gonna leave that completely out. He claimed in Last Movie Outpost that he was not able to get into movie theaters because theaters wanted 3 months before he could put it on streaming, which is patently false. And then he claimed that not enough theaters are open. Sorry, bud.
Again,
Godzilla versus Kong is now in 3,000 theaters. That means there's
the same day that the movie
that means that there's 3,000 theaters open. Maybe you can't get into maybe half those, but you can get into 5 to 10% of them.
Well,
You
Jesus
can
Christ,
get it
There aren't like 50 theaters in like Alabama, Mississippi, and
in flyover states. Yeah, you can do it. Because guess what? That guy did it. So do not come onto some other show and lie about it.
You know what the most ridiculous thing he said was?
Mom said.
That
I told you. What?
Yeah, what did you tell us?
I don't know.
We don't get that. The most ridiculous thing he said in this entire interview of like cavalcade of absurdities was that he compared the Roe v. Wade decision and everything that like went into that to the JFK murder.
Did he?
Yes, he was like, we're trying to make JFK like Roger Stone, like we're trying to make.
He said he was trying to make it like the Oliver Stone movie.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. You said Roger Stone.
Oliver Stone.
You said Roger Stone.
Okay.
Oliver Stone.
No. He said he was trying to make the Roe v. Wade movie akin to, but he not only said he was like trying to make it like that movie. He did directly compare like Roe v. Wade as a conspiracy to the JFK murder as a potential conspiracy.
Oh, I see what you're getting at.
Right?
Jesus.
Like in no fucking
insanity.
No fucking world are people like you show me the thousands of YouTube videos where people are diving into the Roe v. Wade court case like they are the fucking JFK murder
film. Yeah.
The JFK assassination. Like, holy shit.
All right, let's get into let's really dive in. We've done some of the review already, but let's dive into more of the review of the actual film. I'm tired. Wow. Ryan, you've already said what your review is, right?
I mean,
what your grade is.
The rating. My rating is 0 out of 5 to no max sense.
I'm gonna give it a 0.25.
How?
For John Voight. That's it. There is like the scenes, and this is the only good thing about this movie.
There's nothing good about this movie.
The scenes where they have the court, like the justices like talking with each other, and you've got I don't know his name. I think it's John Schneider and some other dude and John Voight. They're all the justices. They're acting off one each other. It's good because they're really good actors and they're able to do these scenes well.
Okay,
You don't have to agree with John Voight's like stances because he was a Trumpy bear as well, but like he does a good job in this because he's a really good actor. So like
sure.
I give it that. Other than that, like
I will concede that like there are maybe 2 or 3 decent performances from the likes of like John Voight and the other Supreme Court justices, but even that you can't like put out as a positive aspect of this movie because in those scenes in the deliberation rooms they're portraying decisions made by the like I don't know what they call it, the lead justice of the Supreme Court.
Oh, the Chief Justice.
The Chief Justice. They were trying to portray the Chief Justice as like himself creating the conspiracy, right? Like all of those scenes were trying to like get the point across that basically the Supreme Court was corrupt and like did something that basically wasn't in their purview to do, right? And another thing he tried to say in the interview, like the Supreme Court shouldn't be creating laws, right? Like the Supreme Court doesn't fucking create laws. They interpret laws and they can reinterpret a written law to, in effect, create a new law. That is what they had done for hundreds of years. They can take a court case that has some law in question and through their decisions can in effect reinterpret that piece of legislation. And then if the legislators are not happy with how the Supreme Court has interpreted their law, it is their responsibility to go back and to re-legislate that piece of law so that it does have the intended effect that they wanted, right? Like, to say that this isn't what, like, this is one of the classic cases of what the Supreme Court was created to do, right? Like, is to argue these type of cases and to, in effect, yes, create new pieces of law, or in the very least to create new effects of existing law.
Yeah, to put new interpretations of the law out there for everybody to abide by.
Right. And like, I guess you can, like, I wouldn't even give, the movie 0.05 points
off
that, but I mean,
but like,
I see where you're coming
yeah,
from with it.
I'm just trying to be, I don't know, but like the acting is almost abysmal at multiple points, almost throughout the movie. You've got Joey Lawrence basically owning his like law students by being like, well, you would have killed Beethoven. And you've got
that was funny.
You've got Greer Grammer like acting like a ditz who's a lawyer, who in real life was a lawyer from UT Austin.
Yeah.
And he tried to say that like, he's like, oh well, no, like she couldn't get a job because like
she was a woman in the 70s.
She was a woman in the 70s, which is true, but you portray this in the movie like she just was like this dummy and like this kind of like couldn't get a job type thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how this portrayal comes across. And that is absolutely wrong.
Right.
And so a lot of this comes down to the acting in this was just not correct for how you approach this type of movie. And that is the problem that I have. Have I said one way or the other that I stand on abortion?
No, you don't need to.
I don't need to.
Right.
I am looking at what the movie is about, and I do not think that they took this seriously. And that is my biggest problem with this movie. I do not think that they like legitimately were trying to have a conversation about the case overall. I think they wanted to own some libs.
Yeah.
And tried to make a movie doing that with a lot of names. And then some people have given this movie a lot of credit for like, it's a period drama and they do that really well. Man, they don't even do that well. There's a scene where you see a freaking Westin hotel in the background that is obviously from 2018.
Literally like the modern Westin hotel.
Like
sign.
I'm sorry, it's very obvious. And again, we had a rough cut. Maybe they cut that out or something. I don't think so, but like, it's that type of stuff where I just legitimately do not think they took this movie seriously.
I think they took it seriously. I think they just took it seriously in the wrong way. Like, they took it seriously in them wanting to get their political point into, right? Like, not only did they want to like own the libs, they, in their, like, from their viewpoint, Hollywood is completely slanted one way, and like, again, in their viewpoint, won't allow any conversation about these types of topics, right? Like,
that was the other thing that I was going to ask. I was going to say earlier. Hollywood.
Yeah.
When they were filming this movie, they had a Daily Beast reporter come up on the set of it.
Who got assaulted.
Who got accosted. And he, in that, again, last movie Outpost, and I wanted to ask him about this, he said, like, no, that's not really what happened. Supposedly, or he's like, this reporter got up in our scene and was like writing dialogue down, and somebody snatched his, notepad and took it because those notes were like lines of dialogue from the movie, and that's privilege and all this other stuff. And he's like, we had video of it, Breitbart posted it, like that's not really what happened. I was like, all right, bet. I spent 30 minutes. Do you think I found that video? No. And I wanted to ask him. I wanted to be like, hey, do you actually have video of this? Yes or no? Yes. Where is it? Let us watch it. Let us see it. Because I've done multiple searches now on Breitbart, on Twitter, trying to find that video. If there is video of it, cool. I haven't found any of it. And you have only said that on a YouTube series that it was super friendly to you. Mm-hmm. So I don't believe that for a second. But yeah, that was part of the production. And the Daily Reporter got his like notebook stolen, and they had to involve the police.
Which is like kind of crazy because like if you're going to invite a reporter onto set, like aren't you kind of implicitly saying like, hey, well, from this day of production, like you kind of can share.
Suppose this guy showed up at the Lincoln Memorial where they were filming it. I don't know if he was necessarily like invited to set, but who like I don't know.
Oh, I see.
I don't know. No, man, like there's not much to say about this.
Again,
movie.
if you're filming in a public location,
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
what
What do
the-
you expect? Yeah,
right? Okay.
I don't know, man.
This is a bad movie. I mean, I don't think we like,
no, it's and here's the funny thing. Nick, and he'll listen to this probably. I don't give a shit. He's actively retweeting all the bad reviews.
right.
He sees that as good because
It's a badge of honor almost.
for him listening to us like bitch about it or shit on it or whatever. He's gonna be stoked because it's just gonna be viewed as like, it's just two dudes who like don't understand what the movie's about and blah blah. And it's like, no, dude, like we've watched a lot of movies and we've done a lot of stuff and we put our pride into all of this and we did the research on it and we've looked into it. And dude, and I know he'd probably be like, well, I spent a lot of time like researching. And he said that at the beginning of the interview. Dude, you don't have to do a ton of research to know that a judge didn't wink at a freaking, lawyer in a courtroom.
Mm-hmm.
You do not have to do a ton of research to know that a bunch of people didn't sit around with a kid in the room talking about abortions being a gold mine. You don't have to sit around and do a bunch of research to know that's probably not a great idea to have a rabbi in a movie say bubala. Probably not a great idea. You do not have to sit around and do a bunch of research to know that like some lady didn't like tell off some other guy about like the movement that they were working on, the women's movement, and then immediately like join the crowd again and just like yell feminism. You do not need to do that amount of research. You can just tell that it's fake and BS, and you cannot come and tell us that it is true. It's not. We're not stupid.
A perfect example of this, like his idea of a large amount of research was watching The Big Short 12 or 13 times and trying to.
Oh, we didn't even get into that. Okay.
Trying to like kind of base his movie in a style of The Big Short. You can't have Nick Loeb doing voiceovers and compare it to Margot Robbie in a fucking bubble bath.
Well, I think he's talking about like Brad Pitt who did the voiceover the rest of the movie because it was like I think it was Ryan Gosling.
It was Ryan Gosling.
Ryan Gosling.
Yeah.
Even worse, you cannot have Nick Loeb comparative to Ryan Gosling.
No.
But and that's the other thing.
The Big Short's a fucking comedy. The Big Short is The Big Short's a comedy movie. You tried to make a drama about abortion. Like you can't compare the two.
But here's the thing. That's the other part about this movie. There's so much voiceover. There's so much, and I'm gonna steal this from a guy, and I'm gonna have to go back. I'll go back and I'll say it the next episode, but I don't remember. He did a review, and he just basically said, "It's like I really felt like when I was watching this that like they're having to explain it to me like I was dumb,
Yeah,
like I
saw that,
and I was like, that's
Well,
the thought I had. That's what it feels like, and that's
the intention.
That's the problem of voiceover.
No. That is the problem of their like viewpoint of pro-life people. They think like people like Nick Loeb have the viewpoint that people are pro-life because they aren't educated about the topic. Yeah. They don't know that like you can.
They don't know this massive conspiracy.
They don't know that you can hear the heartbeat after a few weeks. They don't know that like the fetus can feel pain if it's aborted after like a certain amount of time. These people are just naive and stupid and uneducated, and the only reason they're pro-choice is they don't know the facts. And so we're going to very
clearly explain
and reductively explain our political viewpoint on abortion to them to try and sway them in the right direction.
Let's get back real fast to the film aspect of this. That doesn't make a good movie. If you cannot explain and pass off a message through film, through nonverbal communication, through dialogue from character to character, and doing that, then you're not going to make a good movie. You do not need somebody say like, "Oh, hi, Supreme Court," or Chief Justice, shake my hand, biatch. Supreme Court Justice Berger, voiceover. That's Supreme Court, Chief Justice Berger.
No,
you don't need that. You don't need that.
Do you know how movies work? Like,
it's just not like you do not need that. That's not how movies are well made.
Right.
So,
I'm kind of okay. I know, like, you didn't want to bring this up, but I think it's kind of an interesting just take on this. This feels like a guy who, he's in this struggle with his ex-fiance over.
No. I don't want to get into that.
But
I really
I have
don't.
a legitimate point to make.
All right.
Okay, I'll just put it this way. This feels like a guy who has a vested stake in pro-life movement.
Yeah. And okay, that's fair. Go for it.
A lot of fucking money and a lot of free time, who doesn't know like jack shit about making movies, and decided that he wanted to make a movie and he wanted to make it about this issue because he's personally invested in it. And it matches his like political leanings, and he can give a big middle finger to Hollywood.
He got $8 million to make it.
Yeah,
that's a lot of money for somebody who's never directed a movie.
Bro, and like you have to think most of that money came from like one of his family members.
I do not want to speculate on where that money came from. We all look into who his parents are and who he's related to, and obviously who's connected to, because Roger Stone is in the freaking movie. We don't know who financed this movie. Like $8 million to make this movie. That's a lot of money.
That's insane.
Jeff Nichols, and I say this guy's name a lot, but whatever. He's a good filmmaker. His first movie, $250,000.
Right.
Kevin Smith, first movie, $25,000.
I read a review like in some, I don't know, it was a very pro-life like online publication, and they were like, "It's amazing what they did for $8 million." And like,
it's a lot of money. That's a lot of freaking money.
It's a
dude.
lot of movie to make a movie.
Like
dude.
Mud, which is an amazing movie, also by Jeff Nichols, one of his most expensive movies.
Matthew McConaughey,
$10 million.
Right.
That's insane for what he was able to do with $10 million.
Mm-hmm.
For $8 million and what they got out of that is abysmal.
How much do you think they'll lose on this movie?
Well, they're not going to theaters, and they're not going to do well on streaming because people have to pay for it.
Let me put it this way.
I bet they lose $7 million, $7.5 million. Probably more, but like I think it's going to be in the 7 to 7.5.
They're doing like TV commercial spots too. So
I know. Oh yeah.
So let's just say like they spent 8.5 total. I'd be one.
But like to those people that don't care, like this is propaganda. It is anti-abortion propaganda. They don't give a shit.
I know, it's insane.
It's wild. But like in what somebody just said, I'm not going to say who, but like
what's incredibly sad? Like
what's that?
Like this actually
people will believe this?
No, this legitimately breaks my heart. You know for a fact there will be private Christian school children who are going to be forced to watch this in high school. Like this will be like I probably would have been one of them. This will probably equally be on curriculum in private schools as like a pro-life.
That's wild, dude. Yeah, I hadn't thought about that. That's scary.
It will equally be that, and equally,
and they'll have to write papers on
a fucking case study on how not to make a film. Like this should be the entire fucking course in film school on how not to make a movie.
No, and that's kind of scary. Let's not give them ideas of what they should do with this movie, but like, yeah, like this will be shown in at least a couple of Christian schools
for sure,
if not more. Like that's horrifying. And then we made to write papers about it, and like
Nick Loeb, if you want to like hit us up to somehow recoup your money, like sell it to a shit ton of private Christian schools.
I guarantee you. Should I say this?
What is it about? One of your previous former teachers?
No, God, I don't know if I want to say it because I don't want to give him an idea.
He's not gonna if he watches this, he's not gonna be this deep.
If you wanted to like legitimately make a ton of money, you know who would definitely freaking buy it and put it in all of their school and all of their classes? Freaking Preston would. Preston Christian Academy would definitely put it in every single.
Shit, you can email him that. It's only going to make him like $100.
Jack Graham is like buddy with Trump. They would love to have that in their freaking.
Yeah, but even if they like, they would buy like what 5 copies for all their.
They'd have him out. They'd have him talk to everybody. They do like a screening. They do it like, dude, they go all out. And yeah, like now that I've given them that idea,
no, you
awesome.
should give him that idea, and then we can like reverse Alex Jones him, or we'll like
sue him.
No, ambush him while he's like at Prestonwood.
I'll do it. Anywho, this is one of the only times where I'm going to say this because I do not like doing this. Just don't watch this.
Yeah,
Don't do your own research into Roe v. Wade. Talk to anybody else about this topic and have a real dialogue about what abortion is and what your viewpoints are. We have not said once what our viewpoint is, and we will not say what our viewpoint is because that is not what we are here to talk about. We are here to talk about film and movies, and that is what we love to do. And we are very fortunate to be able to do that. And so it is not our place to say what our stance is, but what they did was reprehensible, and it sucks because like I think there is a good movie to be made out of that subject. They just
for sure.
They just
This
chose to go at it from a slant. So
okay,
that
so
kinda sucks.
let's like final rating for me. It's a clear 0.
I'm gonna say
out of 5.
0.25. Absolute dumpster fire.
Yeah,
absolute dumpster.
No,
fire.
it was a dumpster on fire. The entire
city, street block.
The entire city was on fire. All right, we got one last audience question before we wrap this up.
From a boy.
Yep.
Love you, Vinny.
If Godzilla v Kong does good, do you see a sequel?
No, because supposedly one of them falls. So I think this is the conclusion. My understanding is this is the conclusion of kind of that entire like series.
Yeah, I would.
What about you?
I'd agree.
Okay.
Like, I think they'll want to drop this like MonsterVerse they kind of had set up, and they'll want to like they'll reboot Godzilla in 3 to 5 years.
Yeah,
and then
probably
this. Give me some fucking like classic 90s Godzilla.
Oh my god! All right, everybody. This has been kind of a wild episode. This has been one of the most interesting episodes that we've ever done. This is definitely in the pantheon of Furloughed Film Talks, but we are just growing and getting better and getting stronger, and we appreciate you guys listening to this episode. Thank you to Vinny and our mom, I guess. Our mom jumped on. We really do appreciate everybody that listens. It's awesome. If you want to come and attack me on Twitter for saying that I love my mom, go for it. I'm at Alex F. Kelly on Twitter. I don't care. Bring it.
Why would anyone?
If there's some like conservative on Twitter who's like, you bitched about Roe v. Wade and then you're like, you love your mom. I'm like, yeah. I don't know. Alex F. Kelly on Twitter. We're also Furloughed Film on Twitter. At Furloughed Film Talks on Instagram. We live stream every Monday and Thursday, and then our episodes are out Tuesday and Friday. We really appreciate you guys. We are closing on 100 episodes. So we are just chugging along. But everybody have a good rest of your week, and we will see you all soon.
Adios, amigos.